Hi, my friends. Today, I want to present you a new story. Enjoy watching it. 9 years. That's how long I spent eating microwave noodles and biking to work in the rain, stashing every dollar while my peers chased weekend parties and designer sneakers. I fixed computers, waited tables, and worked late into the night with nothing but cheap coffee and hope. And at the end of all that sacrifice, I stood in front of a modest 3-bedroom home, keys shaking in my hand like they were made of gold. The porch creaked under my steps, paint peeled along the railing, and the yard was overgrown, but to me, it was perfect, mine. I turned the key slowly, the lock clicked, and the door creaked open into an empty living room paved in sunlight. No furniture, no curtains, just bare walls and space. I dropped my backpack and whispered aloud, "I made it finally." I didn't expect congratulations. My parents and I weren't close, but I thought they'd at least say good job. They didn't. 2 days later, I got a call from my dad. "We need to talk about the house," he said. I smiled, thinking maybe he wanted to visit. "What about it?" I asked. He hesitated, then said flatly, "Your mother and I feel it would be fairer if Heather got it." I laughed. "What? She's struggling. Student loans, rent. She has debts due to her idle lifestyle and nightclub parties, and she has no stable income. She needs a place to live. You're doing fine. You can afford another. She didn't work for this. I did. She's family, Patrick. She deserves it, too." I hung up without saying another word. The next day, my mother texted me, "You're being selfish. She's your sister." By the end of the week, a thick envelope was dropped at my mailbox. A lawsuit. My own parents were suing me for $179,000, claiming I owed them for my upbringing. Their demand? Hand over the house to Heather and continue paying the mortgage while she lived there. I stood frozen on my porch, court papers in hand, the joy of homeownership crumbling into ash. I spent the entire evening sitting on the floor in the living room in a state of suspension. No furniture, no comfort, just me and 4 empty walls. I wasn't sure if I should cry or scream, but I knew one thing for certain: they'd made a mistake. They thought I'd break, but I just opened a door, and I wasn't stepping back through it. I didn't sleep the night the lawsuit came. I just sat on the floor, knees pulled to my chest, rereading the papers by lamplight. The words blurred, but the betrayal burned clear. They're really doing this, I thought. My parents were taking me to court for buying my own house. By morning, I'd made a decision: no lawyer. I couldn't afford one, but I had documents, bank statements, mortgage approvals, tax returns. I built this life alone. I would defend it the same way. The real gut punch came when I found out who was funding their lawsuit. Uncle Joseph, my father's brother, the man who once scolded me for not inviting him to my community college graduation. He'd always made quiet, cutting comments like, "You think you're better than the rest of us now?" But I never imagined he'd go this far. Worse, Heather wasn't just sitting back, she was gloating. I found her social media posts, pictures of pastel-painted kitchens and Pinterest-inspired living rooms. The caption read, "Can't wait to move in. Grateful to my parents for standing up for what's right. #family first." I clenched my phone. It wasn't just lies. It was theft dressed as virtue. Then came the smear campaign. My mother posted on Facebook, "We raised Patrick with love. Now he turns his back on his own blood. Heather deserves stability. A real son would understand." My cousin Laura messaged me, confused, "Are you really refusing to help Heather?" I typed back, "I bought a house with my own money. They're suing me to give it away." She replied only, "Wow." Even Grandma called, "Patrick, your mom says you've become cold." "I haven't changed, Grandma. I just finally said no." She paused, then, "Hold your ground." I spent every evening after work building my case, paper trails, emails, screenshots, but every click of the mouse echoed louder in my chest. This wasn't just a legal war, it was personal, and they weren't just my family anymore, they were opponents with my blood in their veins, and I was preparing for the fight of my life. The courthouse smelled like dust and old paper. I arrived early, dressed in my best, dark blazer, pressed shirt, and a folder so packed it barely closed. My heart pounded, but my steps were steady. This wasn't just a legal hearing, this was the reckoning. They arrived minutes before the session, my parents, Heather, and Uncle Joseph, all wearing matching baseball caps with "Family Comes First" stitched across the front, as if betrayal could be branded into loyalty. Heather rushed toward me, arms outstretched, eyes glassy with fake tears. "I forgive you for making this harder than it had to be," she whispered. I stepped back. "You forgive me for defending myself." Her arms dropped theatrically. Inside, the judge, an older woman with sharp eyes, called for silence. Their lawyer, visibly uneasy, began, "Your Honor, my clients have invested emotionally and financially in the defendant's life. Their daughter Heather is burdened with student debt. He, on the other hand, is thriving." Then came their evidence, receipts for meals I ate as a child, a spreadsheet of clothing costs, jackets, school uniforms, even a toy car from when I was 7. They even cited the cost of my appendix surgery when I was 12. Heather took the stand and declared, "I've struggled to find stability. I'm an artist, a dancer on TikTok. I express myself." The judge raised an eyebrow. "Do you earn income from this expression?" "I'm building a brand," she replied, smiling sweetly. "Growth takes time." My turn. I stood and handed over my folder, proof of savings, mortgage payments, pay stubs, and a deed in my name alone. The judge skimmed through, then looked at me. "Mr. Taylor," she said firmly, "this case has no legal merit whatsoever." A pause. She turned to my family. "You want a working adult to surrender his home and fund the lifestyle of someone with no income, no plan, and no legal claim? Shameful." Gavel down. Case dismissed. But as I left the courtroom, Heather's voice echoed behind me, "You haven't seen the last of us." I believed her. The war wasn't over, it had only changed shape. At first, it was quiet. No texts, no calls, just the hum of silence hanging heavy over my house like smoke before a fire. Then came the scratching. One night, just past midnight, my motion sensor lights snapped on. I checked the camera feed from my phone. There was Heather, hood up, pacing nervously beside my car. She hovered, glanced around, then scurried away. The next night, Uncle Joseph crept up my driveway holding a can of red spray paint. The light hit him mid-step. He flinched and bolted like a rat caught in daylight. I filed police reports, submitted the footage, and installed new cameras front, back, even inside the garage. I changed the locks. I slept with a crowbar under the bed, one hand always near my phone. That house, once a symbol of pride, now pulsed like a battlefield bunker. I started checking windows twice before bed. Every creak of the floorboard or passing car made my heart jump. Living alone had never scared me before, but now I wasn't just guarding a home, I was defending my peace against people who once tucked me in at night. The weight of betrayal hits differently in the dark. I kept remembering moments from childhood, Heather stealing my allowance, Joseph laughing at my graduation gift of a gas card. I once dismissed those as family quirks, but now they played back like warnings I should have listened to. Then Heather launched a GoFundMe, "Help me reclaim my future." The page featured stock photos of a pretty suburban home and a tearful story claiming I stole the family house through legal trickery. It went viral for all the wrong reasons, flagged, reported, taken down in 3 days. But the online storm had already begun. My mother posted in our church's Facebook group, "Our son betrayed his sister for money, we raised him better." One post led to another until my name was buried in digital ash. But something unexpected emerged, pushback. My cousin Danielle commented under a thread, "You paid for Heather's tuition. I worked nights to pay for my textbooks. Don't talk to me about fairness." Others followed. Secrets spilled. "Remember when you gave Heather $10,000 for her vacation and told me you couldn't help with rent? You threw Patrick under the bus, but he's the only one who never asked for anything." The family foundation cracked. Even Grandma called again. "Your grandfather and I are proud of you," she said quietly. "We see everything now." I didn't reply at first, I was too tired. But a warmth spread in my chest I hadn't felt in weeks. The fire they tried to start, it didn't burn me, it lit the truth instead. 3 months passed. Heather now worked at Burger King, flipping burgers with a scowl, her TikTok brand long abandoned. Uncle Joseph violated the restraining order once. He received a court warning. I installed a second security gate. One morning, a text from Mom, "We're struggling, can you help?" Just this once. I stared at it, then locked my phone. My promotion came through, senior security analyst. I bought 2 guard dogs, Titan and Luna, who now guarded my peace like soldiers. My grandmother visited every Sunday. We played cards, we laughed. "You're the only one who built something real," she said. Letters arrived, one from Dad, "When will you forgive us?" Another from Heather, "We were family once." I never replied. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need apologies. I had my home, my dogs, my silence, and finally, myself. On quiet nights, I'd sit on the porch, a mug of coffee in hand, watching the wind stir the trees. The house stood tall behind me, and no one would ever take it again. Friends, what do you think of this story? Write your opinion in the comments. Would you like more stories? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss any videos. See you tomorrow.